Hey Wealth Warriors, Jackie Elmer, and I just wanted to introduce and share with you a video recording of a training call that I did today with Roger Webb of doTERRA Network Marketing Company. And we talk a little bit in this video about why now is an absolutely fabulous time, possibly the best time in history, to talk to people about the opportunity that you have in network marketing as a financial opportunity to work from home, home-based business, home business, what's a great home business. All of these search terms are trending again on Google big time. They've really hit the top because so many people are scared, they're struggling, they're out of work, their pay's been cut, they're uncertain about the future, and they're looking for options. So we definitely cover that. We cover some simple scripting that you can use to introduce what you're doing in a way that's not salesy and gets people interested and to lean in. We talk about the 3 C's in business, why it's important, and we talk about some steps that you can take right now to launch or relaunch your business, whatever that might be. So give it a listen. Would love your feedback and to answer any questions that you have. Here it is.
Okay, we are live. So hey everybody on the Diamond Resource page. This is a new and unique thing that we haven't done yet, but I really wanted to introduce somebody to you guys. So Jackie Elmer is a new friend of mine. She's actually in my BNI group. Most of you are in BNI, you know that. And I have fallen in love with her message and who she is, and I think she has something very, very valuable that she can share with our doTERRA family. So Jackie I'll let her tell more about herself, but my version of Jackie is that she's the, and I hate to say this, but like I would almost say like the female version of Ray Higdon, like. And it's funny because when we were talking and she introduced that, she told me that, I thought, wow, that it just struck me that we don't have, like, it's funny that we have a female-dominated industry that's being taught how to do it by men, which I think is something interesting. And now we have a female perspective. And the stuff that she shared with me has been very powerful. And I just thought I could not go another minute without introducing her to my doTERRA family. So, Jackie, take a minute and introduce yourself. I'd love to hear who you are.
Awesome, Roger. Well, thanks so much. Thanks for having me. Welcome to anybody who's watching. And it's funny, I'm really good friends with Ray Higdon, so I like to laugh and call myself the female Ray Higdon. And it's like you said, it's a female network marketing and direct sales is a female-dominated industry, but we don't have that many female trainers. And most people can't even name 1 or 2, no less the top 3 in the profession. And I think that as we chatted about, the female voice is important because we do things a little differently. That's just the reality of the way things are. It's not a right or a wrong. It's not a gender bashing or anything like that. It's just that we do things a little bit differently. So a little of my story, I actually come from a background in airline sales and marketing. That's what I did as a corporate career before I had my first child 27 and a half years ago and decided to stay home. I was married to an airline pilot, so it was kind of tricky for both of us to be up in the air and flying around and doing all that. But I have a business and marketing mindset. I love entrepreneurship. I love all of that. I always wanted my own business. And so I was a little bored staying at home, even though I loved being at home and wouldn't have been any other place. There was a part of me that really longed to have my own business. And I was one of those people who was skeptical about network marketing. It was kind of like one of those things that you got into. Exactly. I know we've talked about that. That's what you did if you couldn't get a real job, right? But as I stayed at home and began researching and trying to figure out a fit for myself, network marketing kept popping up. And I loved so much about it in terms of the flexibility from time schedule to financial. I wasn't really looking for a hobby business. If I was going to do something, I really wanted to make it a full-time endeavor, but it had to work with my airline pilot husband's schedule, you know, the first baby, and then my daughter who came along later. It had to fit into all that. And so, you know, kicking and screaming over 26 years ago, I jumped into the profession of network marketing and have never looked back.
That's awesome. We have a very similar background in our approach to network marketing. I love that. So I really love some of the perspectives that you've shared with me, and I'd love to share with some of my friends. So especially right now, you know, this is such a unique time that we're in. The world's changing, things are changing, and even among my own team, I've heard little murmurings, people like, oh, maybe this isn't the right time, or maybe this isn't a great time, which I think is crazy. But I would love to hear your perspective on that. Why is now the right time?
You know, it really is. It's like that old saying, you know, when was the best time to plant a shade tree? Well, 20 years ago. But when's the second best time? Right now. So there is seriously no better time than right now. And there's a couple of reasons for that. One of the things I didn't share about my story is I started my network marketing business in January of 1994. I'm really dating myself. And I took my business online in 1999. I was kind of a pioneer back in the day because I had gone to an internet marketing seminar. My company at the time was one of the first to launch personal websites. And I didn't know what the heck the internet really was. I know I was seeing .com this and .com that, and it was showing up everywhere, but I didn't really truly understand it. But when I went to this seminar, I caught the vision of leverage and the leverage that the internet and digital marketing and social media wasn't even a thing. YouTube hadn't been invented yet. None of that was happening, but I caught the vision of the leverage that you could create through digital tools, online methods of getting yourself out there, not spamming and advertising, not doing any of that, but just truly getting your message out there and finding those people who are right. So I took my business online in October of 1999. My biggest fear was Y2K. I'm really dating myself again, that it was going to come along and wipe out everything. But I have gone through 9/11, 2001 with an online business, with a network marketing business, thrived right in the midst of all of that chaos and uncertainty. I went through the recession of 2008, 2009, that whole crazy time. My business didn't even have a hiccup. It just kept growing and thriving. And now we're in this very interesting time. And interestingly, it's kind of funny, home-based business and some of those search terms kind of became, I don't want to say old school, but they were just so redundant. They were just so overdone. People weren't really so much seeking that out. And when times are good, which economically they have been the last however many years, that, you know, people searching for outside solutions goes down. But we're at a record time in history where all of those search terms, home-based business, what's a good home-based business? How do I work from home? All of those search terms are having a huge renaissance, and more people than ever are looking because they're interested. People are scared, they're hurting. There's been job loss, there's been income loss. There are children at home with schools closed and parents scrambling to figure out how to have a career and work and pay the bills and do all of that. And there are certainly health challenges, health concerns. And so when you put all that together, there's really no better time than right now.
Absolutely. You know, I tell my team, I just in the last 2 months, I've had 29 new builders added to my team. And I've had people contact me more in the last couple of weeks than I have in years, asking about the business side of what I do. And I think you really nailed it, especially for us in doTERRA, is not only do we have a great network or a business opportunity, but we also have a health-related business opportunity, which there couldn't be a more perfect time. I think it's absolutely amazing. So from your experience, how would you say one would go about launching or relaunching for a lot of us in this kind of environment?
Absolutely. Well, I like to focus on what I call the 3 C's. And my 3 C's are clarity, commitment, and consistency. And really everything we do in network marketing and really any business fall under those 3 C's. So the first is clarity. And the first thing that you really have to have is clarity around what I call the 4 W's. Why, your why. You've heard it over and over again, not to be redundant, but it is so important. You know, it starts with why you're doing this. And this is most specifically for yourself, to be really clear on your reason why. And then from that, creating that win-win so that you can share that with others who are looking. So clarity around your why, clarity around the what. What is it exactly that you're selling? And it's not the doTERRA products, just so you know, as fabulous as they are. With your company, you've got 2 opportunities, two products, really. You've got the opportunity side, and then you have the product side. But the important thing to keep in mind, nobody's looking to buy an essential oil. They're looking for a solution. Nobody's looking to start a business. They're looking for a financial solution. So when you get clear on what it is that you sell, then it helps you position into the other ones. I said the 4 W's, but really one of them is an H, which is the how. So it starts with the why, the what, and then the who. Who's your ideal client? Who are those people who you know who are either challenged with some type of health concern, something that you can offer a solution to, and those people who are challenged financially, or just have fears and uncertainty around that. So that is the who, is really identifying that ideal client. And then the H is the how. And that's your marketing. That's where all the skills and success language and positioning and knowing how to introduce both of those two sides, opportunity and product, to that ideal audience and get them interested in a way that's going to get them to lean in. So all the rest of it falls under the how, which is the marketing. And once you have the other three things in place, it makes it much easier to streamline and figure out your marketing and your how.
I really like that. I love what you said about the opportunity. You know, it really is what we sell. And not even, I wouldn't say the opportunity, the solution. That's the word you use. I love that concept. You know, I have people all the time talk to me about, you know, what do you do? You know, or I'll tell people, I have a solution for you, like, and they're thinking only help. Oh, well, you can't fix my financial problems. I'm like, oh, there is a solution. Absolutely, there is. It really is a solution. We are solution providers.
Well, it is. And you have a great tagline, Roger. What's your tagline that you put in your email?
Yeah, it is, bring me a problem, I'll bring you a natural solution.
See,
and I
do pay attention.
You do pay attention. I like that a lot. So what's the second C?
The second C is commitment. So once you have the rest of it in place, nothing happens without a commitment. And commitment, honestly, is a little bit different than decision. We make a decision to launch our business when we get our credit card out and put it in and click submit, and our kit comes, and a lot of those different type things. But the commitment comes when you really get clear on the rest of it, the why, all the rest of that. That's where then it's really critical that you make that commitment. And commitment is one of those things that you have to keep in mind every single day. You get up and do what needs to be done, even on those days that you don't feel like it, because you're committed to your why, you're committed to the what it is that you sell, you're committed to your who, which is your ideal client. And that's where it's so important, because you're creating that win-win. You're committed to providing that solution to that challenge that they're looking for. And when you can get really committed to that, it takes all of the emphasis off of you and puts it right on that person who you're looking to benefit. And that's a really key part of it. So that commitment piece is really, really important. It's important to get up every day, look yourself in the mirror and say, what are you committed to today? What exactly specifically are you committed to today? And always have an answer.
I love that. You know, in February, I went to Prague for a Diamond Dash with Elise Chedovy, and I think what she teaches more than anything else in that whole training was commitment. And there's such a strong emphasis on and I love some of the points you made, not just my commitment to my business or to my team or to my customers, like it really is the commitment to myself. How am I going to show up? And, you know, it's funny, people have asked me, since I've come home from Prague, my business has ignited like it never has. And I've had a lot of friends ask me, what are you doing? What are you doing? What's different? And the difference is that piece. I somehow found something that showed me a different way to look at my commitments. My commitment to myself, to my team, to my business, to my products, to what I have to provide for people. You know, I have a pretty strong why, and my commitment to my why, I realized was kind of getting shaky. That all this other stuff got in the way and life got in the way. And when I got back to that commitment, that's all it took. That's all it took to shift me back into a direction of growth. And it's a pretty important one. So what about the final C? What is that?
The final C is consistency. And again, all the rest of it's important, but if you don't stay consistent with what you're doing and that commitment and that clarity, none of the rest of it matters. And consistency, I think one of the challenges that we have as network marketers, and probably any business owner, but certainly in network marketing, you know, it's a low cost, low risk, low everything endeavor, if you will. You can start a business for a couple $100 typically, sometimes even less. But to really launch your business, you know, it's going to take some investment. That's the easy part. But staying consistent with it is the challenging piece. And sometimes in network marketing, one of the first things that we're tasked with are setting goals. And that can be very challenging for a new business owner, because that's what you are in network marketing. You're a business owner. But most of us, myself included, come from a background. We have an employee mentality. We're hired, given a job description, told the hours that we have to work, what we have to do, and at the end of 2 weeks, we gather a paycheck and we keep our job based on whether or not we've done that. But in network marketing, we are our own boss, and we're either our own worst boss or our own best boss. And so that consistency is challenging. So instead, what I like to focus on is, instead of setting those huge goals to be a top income earner or the top level of the compensation plan or any of that, set that consistency goal first and foremost, to every day at the end of the day, check the box of being accomplished around what that commitment is. So, and instead of looking at the end of even 90 days, I like to work in 90-day plans. But if you will take the steps to create that consistency chain, whether it be working out, I mean, this is true in all of life, your health, your fitness, and certainly your business goals. Every day being able to check that box of taking that slide edge steps, doing those little things that create that momentum in your business. It's huge. So it's not piling everything to one day a week where you get out and try to work your business. It's really, truly learning how to embody the skills that we're taught in network marketing. That it's not about necessarily massive action every day. It's committing to and being consistent with those slow, simple, consistent steps that create that success. And even if they're small, little goals, maybe it's contacting one person a day, or maybe it's 3 people a day and doing one follow-up with somebody you've already spoken with, something like that. When you begin to be consistent and can check the box every day that you've accomplished that, it creates momentum, it creates growth, and miraculously, we tend to find more time in our schedule and more motivation to be more and more consistent and expand on those skill sets that we're doing. So consistency is such an important part of it. And it's every day looking at the day on the calendar that's right in front of you. Not tomorrow, not yesterday. That's over and done. Tomorrow's not here yet. Let's check the box for today.
That's such an awesome tip. Just yesterday, I was laughing because just yesterday I had a conversation with one of my builders about this exact thing, that, she's a little overwhelmed because of everything's happening in the world and her kids are home and everything else. And how do I keep going? And this is what I told her. It's about being consistent to you. It's about being consistent to your calendar. So many times we've seen builders show up and they're excited and they do really great, and then they stop doing it. And then they come back a few months later trying to do it again, and then they stop doing it. And it's that consistency. That's the piece. The people who, I look at my friends who are diamonds above, and these are the people who are consistent. And that's getting people to understand how important that one word is in this business is like my greatest mission in life. Absolutely, 100%. I really love that. So I've had a lot of conversations with other diamond friends and other people in the business, and especially in the world that we're in right now. Everybody, all of a sudden, literally overnight, we were all pushed online. And for some of us, we were very comfortable with that because we'd already been online, but for a lot of people, they're a little freaked out about it, and it's not a skill set they had, and it can be a little bit challenging. And I know that that's kind of your expertise, since you were one of those first people in there with .coms. That's a word I haven't thought of for so long. Like, how does one go from not having that knowledge to all of a sudden having to incorporate this digital side of their business?
Well, it's kind of funny when you look around the world today, everybody is learning digital. People who had never heard of Zoom or any of these online platforms to run business meetings, and I'm not talking just network marketing. We've been doing conference calls and a lot of technology way before some of these other businesses. But if these big companies can adapt and figure out how to teach their employees to work from home and use Zoom and do all of that stuff, we can certainly adapt. The reality of it is the online world does not need, nor should it be, any different than the offline world. And I think for me, that was a benefit that I had when I took my business online. I had already had 6 years building in network marketing. I had already learned how to contact people, invite them, share what I did, follow up, do all those business skills. So when I took my business online, I never saw it as an advertising platform. I just saw it as a new way that I could meet and connect with people. And before we end here, I have a fun little gift that I put together that are quarantine scripts that I'll share with you so that you can learn just three simple scripts to reach out to people, to follow up with people, to reach out to people for the first time, and to reach out even to people who you don't know that are not salesy, don't feel weird or anything, that just kind of let people know who you are, why you're contacting them, and what you're looking for, and giving them an easy out. So I think that's one of the things more than anything. Look at what you already have been doing offline. Now, Roger, you and I have talked about this. I think it's a weekly oils class that you teach and have taught for a long time. I'm guessing that you don't really do it any differently than you would if you invited everybody over to your living room, with the exception that you can't pass around the oils and let people actually smell them and touch them and that type thing. But people don't have to have that experience in order to be interested and in order to buy. So you basically do it the same way. And the reality of it is, when we go online, whether it's live, like you and I are talking, shooting even just a video. If you're not comfortable going live first, great, just shoot a few videos. Delete them if you're not happy with what comes out in the beginning, but practice makes perfect. Gather some people together and just have fun with it. Just have fun with it. Nobody's looking for perfection. When you are in front of a crowd, whether it's in your home or whatever, I shouldn't even say crowd, a small gathering. Let's say you have 4 people over to your home. Nobody's expecting you to be perfect. You're not auditioning for American Idol. You're not doing any of that. Going back to that ideal client and that solution that you offer to their challenge, when you're really focused on that win-win of that value that you have, the difference that you can make in their life, whether it be from a product solution with a health or physical challenge, or it be with a financial solution that you can offer them. Whether or not they accept it is up to them. But when you're offering that value and that total win-win, that's going to really develop your confidence, and you're going to look at the whole online platform as different. So just remember, nobody goes to Facebook or any other social media platform with their credit card out ready to buy. But plenty of us do buy via social media. We just have to be warmed up to it and understand and get that value piece of it so that we can be excited, be interested, and be ready to show up for your class. So one of the things that I say, never give a link without permission. That's number one. So you don't want to go on your Facebook profile and say, hey, I'm running this oils class. Here's the link. Join me. You want to tempt people. You want to create that curiosity. You want to get those people coming to you so that then you actually have a lead to follow up with. The challenge when you put a link out, you don't know who saw it, who was turned off by it, who saw it but got distracted because the kid needed help with homeschooling today, and then it got lost in their news feed and they couldn't come back to it. There's so many things that you don't know. But when you put something out there that tempts and teases people, and they message you to know more, now you have an actual prospect, a lead, somebody who you can continue to drip information on, and start with asking questions. Why might you be interested? Are you having a specific physical challenge? Is there something that you're challenged with in that way? Or if it's the finance side of it, tell me what's going on with you. Take a genuine, true interest in people. We're finding that more than ever. People are over happy birthday on Facebook. I mean, seriously, not that people don't appreciate it, but it's lost its oomph that it had in the very beginning, because it's like, well, you didn't even really remember it was my birthday. Facebook told you. But my point being, now today with this quarantine and the pandemic and everything that's going on, we're coming back, as everything does, it's cyclical. We're coming back to that sense of true connection, true meaningful connection with people. Who are those people that matter in your life? How do you want to spend your time? Who do you want to spend your time with, and what do you want to be doing? So when you can take a genuine interest in people and lead with them first, learning more about them, and then positioning what it is that you're doing, it changes the whole dynamic of everything.
That's really, really valid. I tell my team all the time that when I make a post, my goal is to cause a question to be asked in their head. And it's funny, when I first got the most powerful post I ever made was when I finally started sleeping in. I went 3 years without sleeping, without a pain med, without a sleeping pill. And when I found oils, all of a sudden I was sleeping, and I just posted, oh my gosh, I'm sleeping for the first time in 3 years. That's all I said. I didn't say anything about a product. I didn't say anything about come to my class. I had like 70 something people message me and say, how, what are you doing? That was a huge lesson for me to learn of what works and what doesn't work. And it really is about that personal connection.
It is, and it's so funny. You don't have to tell people the name of the product. You don't have to tell people, message me if you're interested. We already know to do that.
Yeah.
We're pretty smart. So we know to do that, and we will do that when something piques our interest.
That's really, really smart. I also, something else you said, just a few days ago, I found one of the very first Facebook Lives that I ever did. Oh my gosh, it was horrible. And to see where I've come, and so I try to help my team see is, none of us were good when we started. We were all fumbling and figuring it out. And when I finally let go of that piece where I don't have to be perfect, I don't have to look perfect, I don't have to have the lighting exactly perfect, if I stumble over a word, that's okay. And when I let go of that and I was just me on camera, I'm just as comfortable now talking to a camera as I am talking to a room full of people because I do it so much. And that's the piece that I try to help my team understand is it really is, you just have to get used to it. It's a new way of doing it. You just have to do it until you get used to it. And
it's true. If you're sitting across the table from Starbucks having a conversation, you're going to stutter over your words sometimes. You might even spit your coffee out accidentally. It happens to all of us. And nobody even blinks. It's just a normal thing.
Yeah, absolutely. I do see there are some people watching. So I just want to say, if you have any questions for Jackie, feel free to pop them in. We're almost done. But before we finish up, I really want to hear from you. What would you say 3 to 5 key steps would be that you'd recommend to somebody who's really serious about capitalizing on this current environment?
Well, first and foremost, get the clarity piece done. Okay, understand, write out your why, even if you've done it before, and even if you think, oh yeah, it's in my head. Get the clarity piece done. Why? Okay, what is it you sell? Who do you sell it to ideally? And then the how. And when you have those other 3, the how often shows up. Get very clear on what your commitment is to that. Sometimes part of the commitment is figuring out the how. And the way we figure out the how is to try and test and tweak, just like Roger shared. When you go back and look at that first Facebook Live, you're freaked out thinking, oh my gosh, but now you look at where you've come to and how you've grown. And that's how it is in any part of your business. And we know with network marketing, it's a system of duplication. So what you're doing, you're sharing with your team, you're showing, you're modeling for them what they can do. It's almost not a good thing to be perfect and super polished because then they worry they can't do that. But when they see you stutter, when they see you come on and say, okay, you guys, I'm kind of scared, like I haven't ever done this before, that releases the tension in you and it gives them permission to do the same thing. So get the clarity piece done, figure out your commitment, and then get your calendar out and start determining how you're going to consistently do this. Capitalize on the fact that this is probably the greatest time in history that more people are looking for solutions financially first and foremost. How can I work from home? How can I have a career at home with my children? How can I lessen this financial fear that I have? It's probably the best time ever from the opportunity perspective, but certainly from the health side of it too. So begin then to develop those conversational pieces, that success language, what I call it. How do you contact people? How do you follow up with them? So start getting all that written out on paper and then get out that old-fashioned calendar and start plotting in. Here's when I'm going to do a Facebook Live. Here's who I'm going to invite to that. Here's what I'm going to say. Keep it simple to begin with. Pick one oil. Maybe it's, a stress one, an anxiety one. I think it's Serenity. Is that the...
Serenity or sleeping one. Adaptive. You're thinking adaptive.
Adaptive, yeah. So, maybe it's that because a lot of people are struggling with it, and begin to, share in a way that's not salesy, but in a way that entertains, educates, and inspires people to contact you. And know this, nothing works 100% of the time. There's no foolproof script. There's no foolproof product. There's no foolproof any of that. You have to stay consistent with it because about every 6 months, somebody's life situation changes and they become interested. Roger, as we talked about, and I started at the beginning, I could not have been less interested in network marketing. And 15 months later, I was home with my first baby, same company, same sponsor, same pay plan, same opportunity that I wouldn't take a look at. 15 months later, I could not have been more interested and more ready. What changed? I changed. My situation changed, and had my sponsor not shown up for Christmas dinner, driving a new car that got my interest, made me wonder what was going on. And I was at the library. This is before the internet. I was at the library looking, what can I do from home? So be out there, be consistent, and don't be afraid to follow up with people. Go back to everybody you've ever shared this with and just say, hey, with what's going on right now, times are crazy, and I am focused and productive in my home business. I know what I do wasn't a fit for you. We've already chatted about that, but who do you know who might be looking for a change? It's a simple way to open the conversation. Some are going to say, nope. Some are going to ignore you, and some are going to say, you know what? Things have changed for me. I think I might be interested now. Can we get together and can I look at it again? No promises, but that's all you need to do.
I love that. You know, it's funny, my own story. I went as far as blocking emails and text messages from my friend who did doTERRA. I was that turned off. And a year later, my situation had changed so much. And I had an open ear. And less than 2 years later, I was making 6 figures because my situation changed. So I try to teach people all the time, don't judge that person. Here's what I love. People are watching us. People are watching us every day to see, is it really working? Is he really having the success he says he's having? Is this really, and people are watching. So it really is just keeping ourselves consistent, keeping ourselves out there. It's pretty amazing. I have to say, first of all, thank you, because just in this 30 minutes, I've learned some things that I'm very excited about. So I want to ask you if you can help us, if anybody is interested in talking to you further, how can they contact you? If you have anything you want to offer, how can we take advantage of this wonderful lesson of Jackie Elmer?
Absolutely. So I mentioned I put together a little gift. It's my scripts for tough times. It's 3 very simple, just introduction scripts to help you with following up with anybody you've shared with before, for contacting those people who you know, but you've never shared what you've done, and to contact people you don't know. So if you just go to streetsmartwealth.com/open script, means like openers, OPENSCRIPTS, streetsmartwealth.com/open scripts. That's my website, streetsmartwealth.com. You can contact me. You can email me, Jackie@streetsmartwealth.com. You can contact Roger. He knows how to get a hold of me. We're BNI buddies. But yeah, I would love to have a conversation with anyone. I have a passion for network marketing. I have 2 things that I used to always say, and I still do just because they're kind of funny. One was, what's a nice girl like me doing in a profession like this? And I mean that jokingly now, but as I mentioned, I was a skeptic. And then I always say I have a love-hate relationship with it. There's so many beautiful things about our profession, especially when we do it right. And I know doTERRA is on the track. They've got it. They are a non-traditional network marketing company. They focus on the right things. So you're definitely in the right spot.
Absolutely. Somebody just asked if I can put that link in. I will put that link in the comments. For some reason, it's not letting me comment here. As soon as we're done, I'll put that link into the comments, or I'll actually put it up into the description of the video, so you guys have it for later too. Definitely reach out to Jackie. I want to say thank you, because I've learned some great things today just in this little short time we've been together. And I know that you have value to bring. There's a lot of people in doTERRA that say, yeah, but if they're not doTERRA, I don't want to follow them. But let me tell you, there's still a lot of nuggets and tips out there. How many of us post things that Ray Higdon does, or go to Eric Worre's events? They're not doTERRA, but they still have some amazing things to offer us to help us with our craft.
Right.
As our CEO says, this is a personal development company wrapped up in an oil company. And part of personal development is learning how to better our business skills, what we do, because network marketing is unique, and to have a voice like yours to help us, I think is invaluable. So I want to say thank you so much for being here. I'm grateful that I just have you in my back pocket, and that's exciting for me. So I look forward to us seeing each other again. And again, everybody, if you have any questions for Jackie and you can't get a hold of her, reach out to me. I will definitely connect you. Definitely something I think she can bring some serious value, especially in these changing times that we have. I know that when the first thing that attracted me to you, Jackie, was your emphasis on self-image and social media, and how to really be real in social media, specifically catered to women. Because it's funny, when I first met you, I was like, oh, but she only caters to women. But then when I really got to know who you are, it really is applicable to everyone. And I'm excited for that. So please get a hold of Jackie if you're looking for some help with this. If you want any additional, I know she's got some great programs that she has on her site. And I just want to say, Jackie, thank you. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, Roger. And thank you for being one of the greats in the profession of network marketing.
All right. Thanks. Hey, everybody. Have a great day. See you later, everyone.
Bye.
All right, so what do you think? Would love to hear your comments, your feedback. Would love to hear whatever scripting you put together, and be sure you grab my free guide. You can go to streetsmartwealth.com/open scripts. That's basically stands for opener scripts that you can use to introduce and reintroduce what it is that you're doing. Make it a great day.